Alexa,
and Dayles
Declassified
Stats.
Survival Guide.
It all starts sophomore year. Either you're in the elite or not so much. If you waste algebra, junior year is the time to double up.
But if you're like us, pre-calc's definitely enough.
Time to check in with Mr. Smith.
So,
Tell
Mr.
us.
Smith, how were we sophomore year?
Very talkative. You talked when you were close together, so I tried to move you further apart, and then you just talked louder.
Interview you. Come on, come here.
This is our junior year math teacher.
Tell us about ourselves.
What? You can see we made plenty of good relationships with all our math teachers.
So we could have taken math a little bit more seriously.
But I really do think we learned a lot this year in AP Stats.
Why don't we show everybody how we got through stats this year?
Let's start it off with summer, because that's where it all began, isn't it? Let's go check out what Dale's doing right now.
Oh, hey.
What are you up to?
Stats summer work. It's horrible. All probability. Tree diagrams, independent rules, general multiplication rules. How are we going to learn all this?
I have no idea. Do you know how to teach me anything right now?
Well, do you want to learn about a tree diagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that we organize probability. So, right here, as you can see, is an example of a tree diagram. We'll randomly select a student and see what probability that student has of being right-handed or left-handed.
Ah.
Hey, Alexa, what section are you working on now?
I'm working on the Venn diagrams.
In math? Venn diagrams? I thought we used those in English.
I know, it's weird, but I'll show you how to compare them with the math data.
Oh, so I think I get it now. So if this is the population of the senior class that takes math, 60% of the population takes neither stats or calc in their high school career. But 20% of the population will take stats only. 15% of the population, or 0.15, will take calc. But 5% of the population will take both. Is that right?
Yeah, that seems right. Now that we've mastered probability, I think it's time we show them the different distributions of data.
Before we can understand distributions, we have to understand two key terms, mean and standard deviation. In probability and statistics, the mean, represented here by the U, or mu, is the expected value, or average of the data, while the standard deviation is the variation that exists from the mean in a normal distribution, or other kinds of distributions. Here's a normal distribution with the empirical rule. The empirical rule states that all data values are within 3 standard deviations of the mean. Ms. Alice is always talking about this 4-step process. What does she really mean by that?
So the first step is state. So you're going to state your parameter and the population you're trying to examine the data for. Then you plan it with checking the 3 conditions. For this one, it's random, where you make sure that it was a random SRS population. Normal, you do n times p, and n times 1 minus p. And then for independence, you make sure that it's at least 10% of the population. Next, we conduct a confidence interval and then conclude with a money sentence. In this example, we are 95% confident that the interval from 0.514 to 0.606 captures the true proportion of 13 to 17-year-olds in the United States who would wait to have sex.
That's a money sentence right there.
Thank God we got that AP test over with.
Despite everything, I think we might have actually done pretty well.
Def 5.